It is time to move from us versus them to us, from complaint to contribution, from projection to participation. The collective begins when we recognize that leadership is not only theirs, it is ours. When I was a child, every Sunday in church, we prayed for our leaders. I remember the feeling when there was a prime minister my father did not support. I found it strange we prayed for him, and yet I also felt expanded into something beyond right or wrong. Whatever we thought about the man, he was our prime minister. He carried the weight of our country on our behalf. I've always believed in praying for our leaders, all of them. It is normalized to criticize and complain about our elected officials. And of course, debate is a cornerstone of democracy. But I think our complaining goes too far. It's like we become helpless children, angry at the mere existence of mom and dad and their power. Everything that didn't go right for us from the start gets projected onto those in power as if they were indeed our parents. We are psychologically out for the kill, looking for one flaw, one policy, one soundbite to justify our resentment. But governing a country, a city, even a household is not simple. It asks for judgment and complexity, trade-offs in real time, and decisions that never please everyone. Few of us could withstand the pace and the scrutiny. When I worked the phones on Canada's federal campaign, I heard this again and again. People would name the one thing they disliked and cancel the candidate entirely, usually with significant vitriol. I'd like to see the next evolution of democracy as emotional, learning to see our leaders as human, understanding that they do not fix the world for us, they work inside it with us. It is easier to see leaders as villains than to face the truth that they are reflections of us and we're all in it together. That we are not children waiting for permission. We are citizens shaping the same shared field. Our system has serious cracks. You will see me considering many different forms of government and economic models in these pages. And a cracking system by nature will have flawed leaders. Expecting perfection is an expression of these cracks. As within, so without. As without, so within. Our othering of politicians is an inherent part of our problem. When we see things that need to change, unfit leaders, unjust policies, etc., a generative response would be to consider alternatives and mobilize in service of what is good and right. No relationship survives constant attack. Yet as a people, we are at constant war with our leaders, while behind the scenes they are supported by those with self-interest. People have power when they act positively, not when they fritter away their energy with complaints and cynicism. Our complaints support current inequity and injustice. It is time to move from us versus them to us, from complaint to contribution, from projection to participation. The collective begins when we recognize that leadership is not only theirs, it is ours. So in addition to local action, I'm sending daily prayers for the Prime Minister, the Cabinet, the Premier and his Cabinet, my Mayor and City Council, and for all the employees of ministries and agencies that are working to protect our way of life. Not because they're perfect, not because I agree with them, not because I voted for all of them, not because I'm not actively working to change policies and candidates, but because they are human beings doing the difficult job of supporting citizens. Even when they fail or appear to fail, I choose to continue to believe in the possibility of good choices and give them as much benefit of the doubt as possible. May you see the bigger picture. May you connect with yourselves, your families, your communities, and the planet. May you be open to new perspectives. May you make choices that support the collective thriving. Amen. It occurs to me that this piece stirs the difficult truth that multiple things can be true at once. Sometimes it's very hard for me to put things into words because I can hear the counterpoint, and the counterpoint to this piece feels like a critique that I'm too Pollyanna. I'm too idealistic. They were all in the pockets of the corporations. They're corrupt. And I do believe that is very true in many ways, but I don't believe it's entirely true. And even in corruption, like even the most evil of dictators, I still pray for them. I pray that they feel calm and safe enough that they do not start nuclear war. There are prayers for everyone. I'm calling us into a muscle of benefit of the doubt, a muscle of mutual support, a muscle of getting along with people, understanding that we will not agree on everything, and a muscle of understanding that people work best when they're helped to understand things rather than attacked. And I think what the corporate interests do so well is help the politicians feel supported financially and in other ways. They have different types of conversations with our elected officials than citizens tend to. And this has a real impact on our democracy. We are having a material impact on our democracy when we other our politicians. Thanks for being here. We meet online, but the real work happens off screen. A reminder to all of us to step outside, feel the earth beneath our feet, take a breath of fresh air, and remember who we are.